So it is November, no snow outside yet, but we have all the boats put away into storage that we take care of. We've got a couple new boats in here that we're going to share with you, and we'll start the shop tour right now. So we have the 1940 25-foot Chris Craft Sportsman. This boat was upside down in the last video where we finished up the bottom. We basically faired the sides and final sanded the sides. Basically all they need is another 100 grit with a flat board, and then they're ready to stain. We've got the decks to do. We're going to try to save most of this wood. This is of thickness. It's thick enough to save, and it's all originals. So we want to try to preserve that the best we can. The boat's in very good shape. We have all the interior pieces removed from the boat, except for the ceiling boards, which we're going to do next. There's a bunch of them, and they're super long, so we're going to wait on that. We've got all the parts for the boat over on the bench, and they have stripped those, sanded those, and then prepped those for stain. So they're ready for stain, which is all the trim in the boat, all the seats, all the seat backs, all the pieces are ready to go. We're going to have to build a new dash. Somebody put extra holes in the dash, so we're going to have to make a new dash. Maybe in the next week or two we can get that done. So stay tuned for a future video on where we talk about the thickness of the plank. This boat came to us very original, and the planks on the sides were full thickness, almost a 1/2 inch. Most of the planking on most of these Chris Crafts are just about a 1/2 inch thick, but we'll go into that in another video of how to determine whether to save it or not save it. So this boat was a good candidate, and we were able to save most of the wood, which we'll do so on the deck. So we have the Riviera here, the 18-foot Chris Craft Riviera. If you watched the last video that I put out, that was of Boompa, and this is not Boompa, obviously. This is an identical boat, even to the point of the same engine. They both came with KBL engines. So the engine is done for this. We had it rebuilt. It's done, ready to be picked up. We do have the sides built for this boat. We took them off to work on the deck and to put the transom on. So we're going to be working on the decks on this one. The transom got finished today. Zach did that. We're going to try to save this wood on the deck. Not so much on the blonde, because what we find is that the blonde for some reason cracks and shrinks more than the mahogany stuff, which I don't quite get, but most of the blonde boats that we do, we have to replace most of the blonde wood to make it look right. The new wiring's already in this boat. We've already done that. The interior we left in the boat. We may do that next year. We're not sure. But we're going to try to get this boat over the winter time all glued back together again, fastened with bronze screws, faired, stained, varnish, and then new engine put in and ready to be used for the summer. So I shared a little bit of video on planking the sides. I just made this plank not too long ago. This is African mahogany, unlike Philippine mahogany on the Chris Crafts. Century After like, I think it was like 43 or 44, they changed from Philippine mahogany to African mahogany. This boat, like I said before in the last video, came to us from another shop, and we were contracted to finish it up. So we're on our way to doing that. Most of the planks are finished. We've got to then focus on the deck. Once we do that, it's a pretty easy fare and stain this boat, and we should easily have the boat ready to go in the spring. So this is the newcomer. This is hull number 48840. This is a 19-foot barrelback, 1941. This actually is a barn find. This boat was originally sold in New Jersey and somehow found its way out into Oklahoma. I went out about a year and a half ago to look at this boat. I flew out there, inspected the boat, made sure it is what it is. It's very original. All the pieces are with the boat. For the most part, there is some little stuff that's missing, but for the most part, it's all here. It, for some reason, had different scoops on it, which was really strange, but it had these bear claw scoops, which we'll show you in future videos on that when we dive a little bit more into this. I don't want to start on this too much. We did remove the hardware, but I don't want to start on this too much until we get some of the other stuff planked, like I said before with the bottom job on the ski boat. This is a full restoration. This has the aquamarine leather interior too, so it's got its original engine. That'll be out for rebuild. So this is an exciting project. It's a full restoration. It's a barrelback, so they're super special, super sought after, and we do a lot of barrelbacks. So this is a great project for us, and it'll probably take us a year and a half to complete the boat, but it'll be another award-winning barrelback. So the customer's pretty excited about it. So this is the Chris-Craft U18. We have 10 coats of varnish on this now. It's looking awesome. We have a ton of parts that go in this boat, pieces, ceiling boards, seat bases, all that kind of stuff. That's all being varnished as well, and also have 10 coats on it. So we are well on our way to finishing this boat by spring. The engine's getting rebuilt, the chrome's getting redone, so all that will come back to us in the springtime and we'll be able to do that. We're gonna do our typical on this where we put on about 18 coats of varnish on here. At coat 15, we'll sand it flat really good and we'll get the name and the numbers and then Chris-Craft on the side, put on there, and then we'll have our final coats of varnish. But this is gonna be a very sharp boat, really nice U18. We have a newcomer here. This is a 1959 Chris-Craft ski boat that we're gonna do. We're just gonna do the bottom on this boat. So we've taken apart some of the boat and we still need to remove the engine out of this boat, and then we can flip it upside down and then we can start on that bottom. What we wanna do though is try to get some of the woodworking back here done so we can move those boats forward. We like to do our woodworking back towards the back and our varnishing towards the front to try to keep that separated the best we can due to dust stuff. So it works pretty good, but that's one of the main reasons why we buff, we wet sand and buff most of the boats, is because super hard to control dust in here when you're woodworking and finishing a boat in here. But we should have this done easily by the spring, and put all back together again so the customer can enjoy it next summer. We haven't done much on the 25-foot twin engine Sportsman. We're still waiting for some pieces on that. Sent the chrome out to be done, so that'll be back. And it's just pretty much in final assembly. The interior is being worked on too. This is the red leather interior. We have all the leather, and he's making the seat bases and that kind of stuff for that. Well, thanks for showing up, and I hope you enjoyed the shop tour. Stay tuned for more. We'll probably do this about once a month and show you the progress in here. Leave a comment if you're working on something special, if you have any questions, and we'll see you back here. Bye.